Hello and welcome back to another episode of Wixo. In the last episode, there's a lot of exploration over here. The revolution of the science team. I just realized I have two countries with the same color. It's fine. They'll probably never border because they're both weak. Oh, whoops. And anyway, I'm going to be starting on a new layer with called the economic alliances. And this is where a new alliance is going to be formed on the economic scale. The red team founds the alliance. Next member to join is the pink team, surprisingly enough, as they have had no previous alliances with the red team. Next country to join is the purple team. Gotta move their shape. Now, next is the cream team, which they're pretty much good allies with. And another country that will join is the pink team. This hot pink team. I'm going to call these guys the hot pink team and these guys the regular pink team. Now, the economic alliances are not going to be that major as these guys aren't going to form like a coalitionary one themselves. And I've got a new layer on this map, the trade routes. They go throughout the world, though there is some countries that don't have been salty and bitter about this because they actually are just doing certain things to be salty and bitter. Like the blue team won't allow trade to go in from the red team trade route. It has to go through a trade route that first goes through the lime team. That's how petty they're being. Sorry, I just. And then, just so you know, there's a Council of Nations that creates these trade routes, which is Mesopotamia, the lime team, the blue team, and a couple other, the lime team, the blue team, and the orange team, and like a couple others, and one other being the red team. And these guys ultimately got the majority vote on the trade routes and they got to control the trade routes of Mesopotamia. And why is it so vital? Because looking at the major cities layer, they did something devious. The capital's right here. They made it so that you had to go through none of the major cities just to connect them to the capital, and you have to go to the capital to get all to these major cities, which kind of annoys travelers coming into the country. They're pretty annoyed by this. And one thing you notice is the pink team has not connected up with the other powers, and that they've connected up all these major cities to the trade route in the capital. And eventually, the red. Oh, now I was on the wrong layer. So the red team is going to start going through over here to the pink, through the pink team, and eventually connect up with their trade route. Now connecting up the whole world, but there's a couple countries refusing to have trade routes go through them, mainly being the teal team because they don't want to have trade from the lime team coming into their country. So the trade route just stops in the colony because they were trying to get it to go through them. And no one that they'd allow into their country. They don't have a border with the lime team here. I'm talking about the blue team. They don't have a border with the lime team here, so there's no trade routes running through the colony, which is very not beneficial for them at all. In fact, this is probably going to cause economic downturn in the blue team, and most importantly, Cyprus and the orange team don't have trade routes going through them because these guys are too petty. No trade routes. Mm, mm, no trade routes because they hate these guys so much that they want to be that they will willingly be cut off from international trade. And this kind of also cuts off the Cyprus country, but they make a solution going through this explored territory, making it a trade route. And this kind of greatly upsets the orange team. Orange team not happy. Orange team not happy. But this, we'll talk about that at a later date. For now, I gotta show you the ideologies of every country. So, there's the absolute monarchies, which include this orange team. And also, I'm going to layer over the stability map just so you can see like if the like how the stabilities correlate to their countries with their country's ideology. Immediately, it seems like pretty like what? Like the orange team, the this country. Oh wait, this the red team, and finally China all occupy this ideology, which only one thriving with it is the red team. Be the being an absolute monarchy, the red team is the only absolute monarchy that thrives being an being not an economic. What? Next, there's constitutional monarchies. There's no constitutional monarchies, but I'm planning on there being one. I thought there was one on this map, but I guess not. I was planning on there being one, but I forgot to include it. Now there's the oligarchies, which are going to be these guys, these guys, yeah, and these guys. They are an oligarchy coming out of a dictatorial oligarchy, which is our next ideology. The dictatorial oligarchies are basically a dictator and a bunch of oligarchs, which are only shared by them and the authoritarian South China, like Central China, South China kind of country. Now there's dictatorship, which surprisingly, this dictatorship right here is thriving. It's probably because they don't have free will and to rebel. And then there's the blue team, whose stability is really bad because they just had that revolution a couple episodes ago, and they're still reeling in from that. And there's also Korea when it comes to that. That's weird. And now, finally, the weirdest of all is, well, the well, then there's this ideology called Arabian oligarchism. Basically, it is shared between these two countries. These two countries have the Arabian oligarchism. Basically, Arabian oligarchism is like, if you've watched Augusto's work, though, you'd know this, but like the East Asianism ideology, but except Arabian. Except it's an Arabian thing instead of an East Asianist type thing. And then there's a weird one called Baguettist, also kind of like got that has some credit coming from Augusto mapping. So please check out his channel. He is amazing. Highly recommend watching his videos. But anyway, this is going to lead us. Basically, it's like an oligarchy, but with the with uh begin as incorporated into their government, but it's like a religion they follow. So that takes us over to the religion map. Here's the religion map. You may notice these pink pockets. That's beginnism. And beginnism is going to be, for the first time in a while, I recreated the religion map. And actually, wait, no, I just expanded out the religion map. And it's quickly apparent that these countries, the pig team, or the pig beginnist religion is getting popular around the world. Anyway, I'm going to also do this, where I'm going to take the outline and then I'm going to go here. Oh, guess it doesn't work. I think I had an oopsie because this is not working. Okay, there's just an error or something. But then we're just going to go to the religion layer and just go on with the pig team religion. And I accidentally am trying to color on the civilization there. But quickly, these guys are starting to expand out the religion into more pockets, where it quickly connects up with this other pocket. And immediately, this is looking pretty crazy what's going on over here. And there's this just tiny orange pocket. Yeah, it's no longer here. And then there's just this orange team pocket and this pink team pocket as well. And over here, there's just the Chinese face taking over everything. And in Arabia, it's like a split deal between the red religion and the lime religion in Arabia. Anyway, that is the religion layer. You can look at this all you want, but if you pause the video, and then there's just Cyprus doing its thing, being Cyprusy. What the heck? Cyprusy. That's a word now. You're being strange. I don't like it. You're being Cyprusy. Now, important the things haven't really happened in this episode because I've been just showing all the layers. So now we're going to be starting with the first events of this video, like big major events, and for that we go into Africa as more exploration is being done by the Mesopotamians. And at this point, also the Lime team who has found Africa, oh boy, they can't expand anymore in Persia, so looks like they found a new place to expand their empire. Now you're gonna have to deal with the pesky Lime Team country for a couple episodes. Good for you, until you either break away or get your independence, or just they are forced to give you independence or something. I don't know how long they're gonna have control over this region. I just have a small guesstimate. But I am the one making this series, so I should eventually come up with a plan for it, because I have like a loose plan for like a next couple episodes, like for a big war. But honestly, it's not like anything that's coming up soon, so don't get your hopes up that there's going to be like a major war this episode or something. There's not going to be a big war this episode, because if there was a big war this episode, I would have just slapped onto the title Civilization War, and I assure you, just check, there's no Civilization War on the title. That means no world wars, no big war, no big world order. So at this point, there's two like borders, but these guys also are like in Africa. Who are you? And they're like, who are you? And then they both realize, oh wait, hi, hi, we I guess we both found Africa. And yeah, they're just expanding up in Africa because yeah. But anyway, we might update Africa again later in the episode. But for now, we are going to be updating something else instead, being the exploration in Asia. Going a little farther now, all the way up here. Now, there's a couple countries that are going to submit claims over this land, mainly being the Pink Team and a couple others. So the Pink Team is going to make a claim to most of this land. And countries are scared about the Pink Team owning this because of their like new religious movement they're having going on. And they're kind of scared of it. They're kind of scared of this kind of spreading to their country. So countries don't ban it, but they are on the verge of just like trying to get rid of this from the from their from that country. And now we go down to explore some more land. This time being India. India is going to be doing some solo work on the exploration layer. Later this episode, I might have a reason to do power rankings again. Now, all the way over here, India is going to expand down into the Indian subcontinent more, and India is going to continue growing its ever large and empire. What did I just say? Quickly, bro. I'm gonna have a bad time updating every layer after this episode. It's going to be just like the last episode, but exploration's more scattered out, so I'm going to hate this episode more than the other episodes. Trust me. Like after each episode's production, I have to just do so much work to update each and every layer. I mean, like it took me 2 days to get ready to record this, and I finally did. But yay for me! I though with the first 3 episodes, it was kind of more well. With the first 2 episodes, it was kind of like slow paced, and now, well, the first episode was kind of fast paced, but the second episode, not really fast. It was kind of like a more slow paced thing. Well, at the time I'm recording this, the second episode comes out tomorrow, actually. At the time I'm recording this, you can just check the date in the bottom corner of my screen because I don't know how to get rid of that, the bottom thing on my screen, because it's kind of like annoying. And now, you, there's going to be like some random group of people that you don't know. No, 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 not again. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what that is. Now there's a new civilization of being grounded over here by the pink team. It's going to be known as the dark red team. This dark red team over here is going to be like a block for the pink team's expansion. Getting over past them is going to be a challenge. They might have to do some stuff to get over here. And now these guys are now an independent country. and more land around the world has been getting explored in the past few episodes. Now, I'd say the exploration has been going on a lot, especially in the last two episodes. Immediately, these guys come across the mountains and they're like, okay, we can't expand anymore over here, but they say when you can't explore one way, explore the way, explore south. I just made that up. And yeah, though North and South China are both expanding, though North China has got to be a little careful as if you didn't see the stability layer earlier, it showed the Chinese as like almost just really bad stability, like about to collapse stability. So, because of the representation of a province appear known as Cape Capan Capan and the Capan province wants more representation, but the capital won't give them representation. Many people came up to the leaders. I forgot what their ideology is again. I'm going to check their ideology. Many people has came up to the ruling family and said, you guys need to focus on this. And they say, okay. And they never do. Like, it's like how you say to your friends, let's meet up this summer. And you never do. Quickly. Immediately, this country is North China is ignoring their bad instability and instead just becoming huge. And South China realizes this is what not to do. And South China realizes this. It takes less land when expanding, though they still take a lot of land. Not that much though. They don't take unexplored territory because it's unexplored territory. They can't just claim that. No, they're not as reckless as China just to explore all that and then just take it all. Yeah, China was very reckless with that. That might just cause them to have that civil war I was hinted to earlier because of that. And now it's time for some more exploration, this time being in the Black Sea. This time a new no this time a new land is explored, known as Ukraine. Or really, this is just Crimea. So Crimea gets explored a little, and immediately this is starting to seem like a golden opportunity for these guys to get more influence. These guys say that what these guys think is that two things these two connect up with each other and become a massive ocean in the north. And they just found an island like Cyprus. But they didn't find another Cyprus. Instead, they're stuck with something else. And anyway, they just keep it expanding in Turkey. And I'm going to pause the video to show you what that looks like. Now, this is what the expansion looks like. Just wait, I need a second. Sorry about that. I'm back now. And the orange team is going to claim all of Turkey. And they even claim this island. And something about these guys I just never mention is they're super North Korea like. I mean, there's even government propaganda, just like Kim Jong Un, that he was born under a triple rainbow kind of propaganda that will make you follow Kim Jong Un's every demand. It's just engineered to make you feel like Kim is not just your leader. He is a good guy. And now I am going to say that the pink team has some more expansion. That's right, the pink team kind of hates this small country that's over here. So they're going to expand. And at the end of this episode, I'm going to do a power rankings because last episode's power rankings are still very accurate, yes. But there is one thing I'd change now. And also a couple countries' rankings that I'd change. Like put a couple countries over another country. One thing that's unfortunate about doing it on having this on a separate layer is that it's super annoying to have this right here. So quickly the Mesopotamians and them started exploring this. And eventually they can't find anything. And they do something that is kind of going to be hard. They make an expedition through the mountains. Okay, the Caucasian Mountains, the Caucasus, and immediately this makes start bulging up, and immediately this is making Mesopotamia look super strong that they're able to do this. This might raise their ranking. Well, you can't rise from number one, but still. That might raise the gap between them and the Lime team per se, because they have to juggle this and the African expansion. Speaking of African expansion, did somebody call up the Lime team? I sure didn't. Well, the Lime team is going to be taking a huge claim out of Africa. They take out all of this land. They pick out all of this African land and incorporate it into the mainland. Incorporate it into their country as a colony. And the Lime team is starting to look really big over time. Their empire is looking bigger and bigger. Though they have lost territories, but they haven't lost many wars. No, there's countries that have gotten their butt kicked and have learned their lessons. Like the blue team is very humbled by their beating. Not really, but bit more humble with their decisions. Like, they're not just going to be like, we now are going to be invading every country that neighbors us and seeing which one can last the longest. Super. But the only catch is I'm a superpower. No. Sorry. Anyway, there is something going on in this Wixa map. Yes, Europe is starting to be explored and, well, discovered and explored. Now, there's going to be like a new country up here in the Caucasus because the Caucasus is really quite bare. No, I'm probably going to make them like uh, I'm going to do this color. So these guys were with like around this land. So yeah. Yeah, this is starting the world is starting to look all filled in. Starting to look much more filled in than it did at the beginning of this episode. And soon enough, these countries might connect up. And as I say that, the South Chinese are making an effort to go south more. Though no, it's not for like these purposes, just to see if what they can find. They're eventually getting close to connecting up with the Indian Ocean. And eventually, like, the people kind of like decide to like leave to go here because they find it nice over here. They find it like cool to be over here. They don't find it like a new style to be hanging out in a regular town in South China. They find it cool to, well, not really like cool, like that sense, kind of. Not really in the way I'm saying it. Just know I'm caught up in like the modern day. It's hard to think back all the way to like I'm going to choose this like ooh yeah, that's the good color. So down here is going to form the nation of the brown team. The brown team is going to be an interesting country. No, this is not this brown team. I know. But instead, it is this brown team, a better brown team, a cool brown team. Anyway, the exploration continues now between these two civilizations because China and those guys are still like connected up to each other. They don't hate each other. Oh, and they're just exploring some of this. Might be a little unrealistic. Like I believe the mountains are like around here, so a little unrealistic on the unrealistic side. So anyway, and soon like the Indian, not that far up, but they like start expanding over to here, and eventually like these guys are getting close to meeting up. Like they're getting closer to meeting up. But it's at a point where it's like, will these guys ever meet up? Really? Yep, okay, that's how long I have on the recording. I was just seeing how long this episode was. Yeah, but we have a lot of events. Now, the next event is just going to be taking a look at the stability layer. Why are we taking a look at the stability layer? This is why. China is not stable. China is no longer a stable country. They are in full-on collapse because of the areas that want independence. And I'm going to turn on the province layer for this. Where the borders. No, civilizations layer. No, I'm not actually going to be like following provinces borders so much. Now, there's going to be rebellions all across the country. But just like these sets of provinces declare their independence from China, the rest stay under the flag that China has. Yeah, they stay under the rule of the Chinese Empire. No, they just know that China will probably get defeated by these guys because they're strong enough to take them on. And at this point, the Chinese are in over their head. Because most of this northern area that they just received from their expansion is now breaking away. And in the south, it's not much better. Look what's going on the border. Yeah, that's right. China is getting invaded on two sides. And the guys immediately start taking over provinces. And they take over all of, like, these provinces before they get stopped by the guards over here by the capital. Now let me look where. Ah, that's what it is. Now looking down here, let me see a mess. Yeah, just ignore that. Now, the South Chinese invasion is a pretty big event, and this is probably going to be a historical thing because immediately this is starting to seem bad. And the capital is right here. And immediately these guys are starting to take over a lot of land. And these guys have to rely on their navy to get resources out of here. Get out to here. And at this point, these guys take all this land in. And the Koreans are like really skeptical of this. What's going on? The Koreans don't know how bad it is, so that the Chinese are deciding to give the Koreans occupation over all, not that much of China. Time to remove the provinces. Is it the infamous 1 pixel? No. What is it? What? two similar colors or something. Their colors are must be close or something. I gotta worry about this. North China and Korea was kind of like a China and North Korea relationship because China was like the big country, while North Korea is just like their lapdog right here. North Korea, come, North Korea, coming, ma. Anyway, more and more land is starting to surrender over to the rebel faction, and at this point, the Chinese are really starting to end up not doing good. And honestly, I think I might leave this episode at a cliffhanger with that. That's going to be a cliffhanger for the next episode. And the power rankings is what's going to change a lot. Power rankings are going out the window. And I'm going to put this back down. No, anyway, the strongest country in the world is going to be the Mesopotamians. So I'm going to increase the font size to this, and they're going to be labeled the number 1 strongest country. Number 2 is going to these guys. Number 3 is not going to the red team anymore. It's going to India. Though close behind is the red team. Who do I want to make number 5? Who do I feel is like a strong enough country to be a number 5? I feel like South China is strong enough to be number 5. Now, number 6 is going to be a tough one. But I'm going to make these guys number 6. Number 7 is probably going to be these guys again. Now, number 8 is probably going to be the purple team. Number 9 and number 10. Oh, not that. 10 is going to be these guys. 11. Now, 11. That's where it gets complicated. 11 is probably going to go to Korea. Number 12, I'd say, is going to these guys. Now, number 13 is going to go to the collapsing nation. Well, actually, no. Probably 13 is going to go to these guys. 14 is going to go to these guys. Because they have the aid of South China. Now, 15 goes to regular China, who is now collapsing. Number 16 will go to this Caucasus country. Yep, that's the power rankings of the world. Wait, no, I gotta erase these. Okay. Okay, these guys are number 10. I had to erase some rankings. 11 is going to be Korea. Now, this is just like a repeat of the last list from here until we reach the new nations. 12, 13, 14, 15, wait, no, 15, 16, and finally 17. Just taking these rankings, they're a lot different than the rankings of the last episode. The rankings in the last episode looked a lot different because, first of all, the Chinese are in active revolution, and then there's like blue team is still at 10, so they've technically gone up in ranking because of people going down in ranking. That makes sense. Like countries have been going down in ranking, so they got improved in ranking. I can't remember what the old power rankings were like, but whatever. Anyway, I have also one last event I have planned for this video. I'm going to go to another layer. This layer. Well, now go to shapes and add a new. I'm going to add a new alliance onto this map, being like an expansionist. Being like an alliance between some countries over here. Oh. Go on to the military alliance layer. India is going to be leading this alliance. So then there's this country that's pretty new. Next is a country that is going to shock you. But it's going to be the pink team. The hot pink team. Now, the world looks pretty divided into alliances. Now, over here in China, there's like another unofficial alliance going on between these guys and the rebels. This is like an unofficial thing. This is not official, but I'm just going to add a circle there just to mark it, just like so you know that these guys are working on the same side, just to topple the Chinese government. Anyway, yeah, that is going to be the ending for today's episode. It has been a pretty good episode. We've had all the expansion around the world. Not as much as the last episode, but we still had a lot of expansion, a lot of new countries, a lot of war. Well, not too much war, but there's Chinese civil war going on. Hey, victory! And there's also a couple new civilizations, being this brown country, this country, being the three new countries. And after this episode, if the rebellions succeed, there's going to be a fourth. Anyway, that's going to be the end of today's episode. Sorry, not tonight. I'm saying tonight because it's 9:44 p.m. at night where I am. Yikes. I know. What a bad time to be recording. And I have school tomorrow. Great. God, why am I recording right now? In China joins the circle a lot. Now, an unexpected tragedy. Just kidding. I'm too tired for this. Okay. Bye, everyone. This is the end of today's episode of Wixo, and good.